So we are getting started, and in this session, we are going to be talking about LinkedIn, how we can use LinkedIn to attract global opportunities, how we are going to use LinkedIn as an experienced professional, academic, or founder to attract global opportunities. Please take note that this particular teaching, I always put a caveat on it, applies to experienced, these three categories of experienced people. What I teach on what I call my unique PPP framework is for experienced people. So if you're a beginner, you may listen in, but trust me, this is not the framework. You will learn it. If you probably use it as a service to work for an experienced person, it would work, but you may not be able to implement it for yourself as someone without experience, because it's just what it is. If you get into my framework, you would understand why I always screen for only experienced people. But then it's a clarity session around LinkedIn, so I cannot determine who joins me or who doesn't join me. So here's what I'm going to do. If you are here and you have nothing less than 4 or 5 years of experience, type A in the comment section. And if you are here, you have below 4 years of experience, type B in the comment section. If you are here, you have above 4 years of work experience, type A. If you are here, you have below 4 years, you type B. And if you are here, you have above 10 years, type C. Above 10 years, type C. So above 4 years, I've seen some A's. Above 10 years, type C. Okay, great. I've seen one B, that means you have below 4 years. And I've seen C above 10 years. Okay, great. So it means that there are people that what I'm going to probably talk around will be highly beneficial to. So now, LinkedIn. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to teach so that it helps people frame their questions. How can you ask a question? I don't want questions such as, how can I get it? How can I get a job? Like I always say, like, because those are blank questions. It doesn't give me anything about you. So when you're asking me questions in the clarity session about global opportunities, for instance, you need to tell me, okay, I am Olayinka Ojuyemi, for instance. I have worked as a XYZ for 3 years. I have done this for 4 years. I have gone to school here. I've done certification here. Like, you need to give me background. And this is what I am thinking. I'm thinking of maybe I've been working, this is my goal. You need to tell me your goal, because even if you come into my inbox and you're asking me about global opportunities using LinkedIn, I will say, please give me your number of years of experience. Tell me about you, like what you do and what is your goal for wanting to optimize LinkedIn. Why? Because your goal may determine or influence the advice I will give you. Of course, your number of years of experience, like even on my PPP framework, if you listen to the courses on the GOP program, you will discover that when I'm teaching them profile building, what I will ask someone with less than 10 years, which is why I asked that question, we have between 4 to 10. Let me know if you are here. You have to put above 10. What I will advise someone with 10 years of experience to do is not the same thing I will advise somebody with 4 to 10 years of experience to do. They have different strategies. And at the end of the day, this is just plainly strategy. Like what I teach is strategy. It's not like and when I say something is strategy, like a framework, my framework PPP, that is profile building, platform optimization, and positioning, will work for experienced people. But even the experienced people, the number of years will also determine how they tweak what I teach them. So in that framework, I will say, oh, if you are in this bracket, these are the kind of things you say. And if you're in this bracket, these are the kind of things you say based on your profession. And trust me, I know my audience, even if I say so myself. I've been doing this way before I even thought about doing SFW. If you just in case you know me from SFW, I've been doing this for, I can't, even before I started Atrraction in 2020, because that's what I was like. People are always asking me, how am I getting global opportunities? How can you have 1/35? How can you have been to 5 continents and things like that? And I'm like I thought it was a no-brainer. And that's how I started Atrraction Africa with this global opportunities thing, because I had understood what was required to get those kind of opportunities. So I've been doing this for the longest time. I've worked with professionals across over 27 industries. one-on-one, in group format and things like that. So I've worked with ex-presidential aspirants. I've worked with AGMs of banks to build their profile. And when I say I've worked with, I would never say I've done for. I don't do done for you programs. Even for those that pay me above 2 million, I don't do done for you. You need to show up for yourself. I can't build a profile in you as essential. At least if that profile is supposed to be used to as in to market you, I can't build it in your essential. You need to do the work. So you need to decide if you want to drop money and drop your time, or you still want to, still be doing what you are doing. But this is not a kind of like what I do. Profile building, the way I teach profile building is a value-based profile building, so that you can build profile just once. You will work, right? But you can do it sleep, and you don't have to constantly be showing up on like other platforms because of the work you have done. And you have built a profile that is SEO optimized. So because of that, you can now sleep and be getting things, right? And just be doing a bit of positioning here and there. So that is a summary of my framework. Now, I'm going to leave you the questions open. My main topic for the day, what do I want to teach you for the day for about 15 minutes before you ask me? Please start dropping your question. I want to teach you about the process, the roadmap to using LinkedIn to attract global opportunities. The roadmap to using LinkedIn to attract global opportunities. That is what I want to talk about. Now, what is a roadmap? A roadmap is like, what can you follow? A step-by-step of what you can follow to get from point A to point B. That's what a roadmap is. Now, what is LinkedIn? Why do I like to define this? I always say I don't assume people understand these things. What is LinkedIn? LinkedIn is the largest professional network that has currently 1 billion professional profiles. 1 billion professional profiles. Do you understand? Why am I repeating that? I want you to sing. What it means is people from around the world, professionals, legit people, people that have value, people that have high substance. And there are statistics that say an average professional on LinkedIn, like they put it on an average globally, earns nothing less than $72,000 per annum. Think about it for a bit. Think about it. An average professional on LinkedIn earns nothing less than $72,000 per annum. I'm just trying to help you understand the kind of networks and the kind of people that are on that platform. Now that you understand what the platform is, now the question is, how does it now come into play? Like, you've heard about LinkedIn. You've heard that it is a land of opportunities, but you still do not understand how exactly, what is the roadmap to getting opportunities of LinkedIn. I have developed a roadmap that I call the PPP. It's called the profile building, platform optimization, then positioning. And I'll take each of them and break it down. Now, profile building, what is profile? I always say, think about it. Have you ever gone to an occasion and they say bring one very important dignitary and they are reading about his bio, they are going on and on, he has worked here, he has done this, he has done that. That kind of thing. See, you see that thing they are reading is a version of his profile. They call it the third-person profile. But beyond what they are reading, when it comes to profile building for a platform like LinkedIn, it encompasses that one that they will read at that occasion and more. Because the one they will read at occasion, we simply have all the accolades, but does not go into the details of what you need to have that will help people reach out to you to offer you opportunities. The one they read at that distance is sometimes more of a status quo profile, meaning that they want you to respect the person, like, this person is good, this person has brain, do you understand? But not necessarily. There is a thin line between a status quo profile, meaning they want you to respect the person, and a marketing profile. And there are two major elements that differentiate it that I actually cover in my GOP program. right? But I want you to know that there is a difference between a profile that you just make someone to say, wow, 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 and be wowing like siren, and the one that will actually push the person to say, oh, wow, I need this person in my team. Do you understand? There is a slight difference. Now, that is profile. So I always say, think about profile building as everything that has to do with the content you will build, that you will put in the about section of your LinkedIn, in the LinkedIn header, in the banner of your LinkedIn, and small other places that requires written content on your LinkedIn. I just mentioned these three because they are the engine room. These three is the engine room, the about section, the header, and the banner. Those are the engine room, especially at the about section. And why do I call it the engine room? This is the place that, for the sake of search engine optimization, certain keywords must be in this particular section. Now, what many do is, or what many CV optimizing people do, or whatever, they say, oh, let me help you optimize. They will import what is on your resume, your resume, they copy it and put it in your about section. And I'm like, I always tell people, stop for a second to think about it. LinkedIn created a platform. After your about section, you see list your job experience, list your education, list your skills. And I will probably share my screen at the point. I said, they listed it after about session. Do you really think LinkedIn is daft that they expect you to replicate what is already listed below in the about session? LinkedIn is not daft. Do you understand? LinkedIn is not daft. So what it simply says is, and they will say, list your experience, list your skills, list your academic, list your, as in, they'll put recommendations and so many other sections. There are three major sections at the upper part of LinkedIn: the core, the recommended, and the additional. These are three major sections at the upper part. So they are not daft. So whatever it is you are doing, that you will say, let me give my something to someone, they will optimize it for me. I will just be laughing. Do you know how many people reach out to us in and say, I already have an optimized profile. I just need a touch of it here and there. I will just be laughing. I said, okay, if it is just a touch you need, or if it's just for us to look at it, that there's nothing much to do, why has that profile not worked for you in the last 1, 2, 3 years that you're giving somebody to optimize it for you? Ask yourself. Look, the amount of character in that about section is 2006 characters. I said, you had better ensure that every single word, you had not ensure, you had better know for sure that every single word in that about section is the right thing, because you would have just wasted 2006 characters for nothing. So I always say the hardest parts of what I teach on my PPP framework, people always think is the LinkedIn optimization. I said, no, you see that first thing, profile, the content you need to build that will go into those sessions. If you don't get it right, you're wasting your time. If you like list 100 educational achievements, you have wasted your time. The strategy to building that profile, it's a lot of mental work. What I typically teach in my program, people write the long version, like 7,000 characters, then we abridge it. When I say we abridge it, like we now start to do breakdown, like what are the most important things here that we can now get into 2,006 characters. That is the hardest part of what I teach. And that is the part that people don't know how to teach. Because I have been able to now develop it into a 7-paragraph framework. So whenever you hear me say framework, I wonder what it is. What is a framework? Like I'm saying, I will now tell you paragraph, because I know that I work with people from 20-something plus sectors. And I say, in this paragraph, it does not matter what your sector is. This is how you frame this. In paragraph 2, this is how you frame this. In paragraph, then after we now finish writing the 7 paragraph, it must have smoothness. It must be coherent when you type it out. The choice of words. I see a lot of people. I'm an enthusiast. I'm an advocate. This is what I'm passionate about. Some people will say, okay, I even heard that. Wow, once you say you are SDG advocates, they will give it. I'll just be laughing. All the enthusiasts, all the advocates, all the blah, 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 blah. People keep packing adjectives upon adjectives. It will not deliver you anything. It's just English. People have since moved on past adjectives, adjectifying yourself. I'm an excellent intercommunicator, They've moved past it. It's fluff. People can see through fluff. At least the global stage can see through fluff. So save yourself all the English. I'm an excellent communicator in the interpersonal, blah, blah, blah. Save it. Now, this profile building, there is now something, because initially I used to just teach a 7-step framework in my programs for building profile. But I realized that people will come onto the program. They want to be known for something, but they do not even understand what they want to be known for. Meaning they lack clarity. They lack clarity on what they want to be known for. And that is a major issue because it will show, right? It will show. It's like you want to say, buy me, but you yourself, you don't know the me you are selling. Think about it. Buy me, I'm good. And somebody says, what are you good at? But because I just saying, I'm good, I'm excellent, I'm like, okay, I have heard. You are good, you are at what? What am I buying? That is where many people go off. The moment you lack clarity about what you are good at, and you cannot explain it in clear English. I always say, if you cannot explain in 20 words what you are good at, you have not mastered your pitch. So I realized that my PPP framework for people that struggle with clarity, when I first built it, when they came on it, they will be stuck. They will not even be able to move past profile, not to talk of getting to platform, that is only the other, not talk of getting to positioning. So I went back, I think last year, to now add lessons on brand clarity. I call it a brand because some people that come on my program are building LinkedIn for their enterprise. Some are building it for their personal brand itself. Like it just depends on organization or personal brand. So I now say they now have to get clarity around what they want to be known for before we can now start building a profile for what they want to be known for. And there are 3 major things, roadmap as in recommendations of the program that I give. There are 3 major things that I have to do. One of them is journaling. I think that is personality. And the third one, why? They need to now go back to the clarity stage to understand themselves, take out from their experience based on their understanding, then use it to build that content. The moment that part of the work is done, I think there was someone that reached out to me or like my people inbox yesterday was telling me that they wanted to join GUP. And I was asking the person that, what is your goal? What is this thing? And he was like, it's just, as in, that just what was someone to know how much the GOP is. I said, if I tell you, like the GOP is 268,750. I said, but you're just knowing the money. If you do not qualify for someone that needs to be in this program, even if you pay, you return your money, like you have to qualify to be in this program. Because there's no point in you joining something that will not work for you. Which is why I ask some people who have experience here and everything like that, because what I teach to build a profile has to have experience with results. Now, after that profile, which is the hardest part, just in case you're on this call, you have filled my form to apply for this program. I've had a really long week, and I like to review those applications myself. Why? I need to, because sometimes I look at people's application and I'm like, okay, this person, what they lack is clarity, but they have something we could work with. So I approve. Whereas others, I'll say, no matter what you say, even when they tick that they can pay, like the people ticked in the application last week when I reviewed, I denied, I think, 2 people this thing, even if you think that you can pay, if I see that the remaining things you wrote was not aligned with it, I will tell you you can, like, it's just a rejection. You can't join my program for you, as in for this particular one. You can join SFW. Do you understand? That one is a beginner program as an adult. But that is what I did for those who that rejected. I said, please join the WFS. When you are done upskilling and you have certain things, you can come back to the advanced program. So if you feel and I've not accessed, don't worry, I'll take 1 hour or two in my Saturday to look at it. And why is this important? The program, the batch 7 is starting July 19. I encourage everyone. I always say there's a reason why I put 2-time payment option. The course 1, that's a profile course. It takes you time. Like all the things I asked you to do to get brand clarity. Like I said, one of it will even involve you going back to your stakeholders to ask certain questions. It's an exercise. It's a life course. You need to know yourself to build value, to showcase your value. So some of the things I recommend takes time. So whenever people ask me, when is GOP starting? I said, when is the support of GOP starting? It's July 19th. People have started because they have paid and gotten access to the course. That first course, you can pay for the second part of the course, link optimization. Like even on the day of the closing, like, do you understand? You will still catch up with the link. But I have discovered that in the past in my program, people that benefit the most from the program are people that start early, at least 1 week early to the program. They've studied the profile course. They have gone to start doing this is not GCP Pro. This is Global Opportunities Program. It's an advanced program. Anything about SFW Academy, SFW Academy is an upskilling program. This particular one is on that, like, I don't teach it as SFW. Only if you want to know what I'm talking about, go to my Instagram page, my Instagram personal page, @Aderinsola@Adepoju. That is where I teach professionals, founders, and academics with experience how to use the experience they already have to attract global opportunities. All the other particular thing is not about attracting global opportunities. I don't teach that at SFW. So the people I always teach on the GOP is experienced people who have experience, who have skills, and they are open to attract global opportunities. Those are the people I teach about this. As in, this is an application-based program, right? So we do this cohort thrice a year. The last cohort was in March. There's July, and I think there's November or December. So it's not, we don't launch it as often as, in fact, I don't even make noise about it. You can see most likely, if you're on my email list and you may not have heard about it since March or thereabouts. Do you understand? It's always, I only talk about it to people in that audience. Now, but today, Marina was like, you know what, there are people in the SFW that actually experience that they may need to, they may need this, let me put it that way, not, they may need this after SFW because they are experienced. So they just basically need to upskill for remote work. Then they can now take this particular knowledge to attract opportunities to themselves. Please, the watchword is attract. The watchword here is attract. So even if I teach on my PPP framework, how people still use LinkedIn to apply for certain jobs, I always say the hardest parts of getting global opportunities is attracting them. It is a higher level of knowledge. When you can write something on your profile that will get them reaching out to you. It is a very strategic framework to do that. Now, after the first P, I always take my time on the first P because people always think it's the most inconsequential thing. But let me tell you why it's the most important thing, just in case you are doubting me. If you do not build such a profile, let me tell you what typically happens. You will now go, because you do not know what to put in all those sections, you will now copy your CV, use it to update all this section that you're supposed to have built a profile for. You will now come back and tell me, Doc, I optimized my profile. You did not optimize your profile. You dumped your CV on your profile. What does optimization mean? Putting things in the right order, putting the right things in the right places in such a way that it works at optimal level. It works at the best. That is what optimization means in any situation. When you say something is optimized, it is working at its highest level. Like what you have done is at the highest level of productivity. That is what optimization means. It is we say, this system is now optimal, meaning that, we have gotten into the highest working stage. So if you tell me I optimize my LinkedIn, but what you put in it is not optimal, like, did you optimize? That's not optimization. You dumped content on your LinkedIn. You filled everywhere up. That's not optimization. LinkedIn tell you to put 50 skills, you put 50 skills. By the way, that is a very wrong approach for someone who is experienced. 50 skills for what? It says you're a jack of all trades. And trust me, the kind of things I teach are unconventional, especially if you're African. The articles you will find online about LinkedIn was created from the US population, because US has the largest amount of people on LinkedIn, like about 200 million people from the US alone, and there are 1 billion people across the world. So it means that the survey was created from that population. So I always tell people, you need to first find someone who understands LinkedIn for Africans, who has personal results, not just assuming. I used to say so, and I think I always still say it. I always tell people that go and find me a LinkedIn coach. I'm not a LinkedIn coach, by the way. I'm a global opportunities expert. Go and find me anybody that teaches about LinkedIn coach in this Africa that has bigger personal results than I do. I will dash you my children. So I always say, look, I don't teach you what is not working for me or what has not worked for people that I've worked with. Do you understand? I teach you basically. You may read this online. I don't doubt you. I doubt whether you got it from wherever it is you got it from. That is your truth. I am telling you my truth based on what I have and what I know. You understand? So the optimization you say you did not optimize you. You just don't content, because optimization means when something is working at the optimal level. So that means if you did not optimize, you now know what now happens in the third P. Third P is what? Positioning. Third P is what? Positioning. So it means that you did not optimize the profile, meaning that what you put on it is not the best of you. That is what it means. You will now carry that thing that is not the best of you. You will now start saying, what is positioning? Positioning means, come and see me, oh, come and see me, oh, come and see me, I'm good. That is what positioning means. You are trying to put yourself in front of the people that matter. You say, come and see me. You think about it. You see someone that is carrying corn that all the corn, all the this thing in the corn has holes. And the person saying, please come and see me, or I'm carrying the best corn. How will you look at the person like, like, is something wrong with this person that is selling corn? See the corn now, like it has holes everywhere. That is be your reaction. And that is what most people do. They go and lay nonsense from whatever it is. They buy 5K course. I don't know. They just buy something. The person not telling them that, on LinkedIn, for people to see you and notice you, you need to be post here, comment on that thing. Before you know it, you become a LinkedIn top. But they will be telling them this, and I said, okay. Should be when you finish advertising what is not good, you will come back. And that's always the worst part of this whole thing. When they have finished advertising what is not good, they will now see like all the important people that should have seen them, that you should have made a very good first impression on. We now have seen bad things. So by the time you finally acquire the knowledge and want to start repositioning, it is harder, because they would have all seen rubbish. By the time you now know the right things to do, hey, you now go and start sanitizing that thing. So Imagine someone that has seen you. That's why I give you a proper illustration. Someone that is selling corn, is saying, this my corn is good, and you now see that corn has holes everywhere. The next day, if you hear the person saying, see my corn from inside your house, will you come out? You will say, oh, that woman that I ran from inside my house to come outside the other day, and I saw bad corn on her head. I beg me, I'm not going. It will take a while for you to say, okay, let me even see. Maybe she has changed. Let me see the corn today. It will take a while. It will take a while. That is a proper illustration of when you first jump, what you are supposed to have done first. Then you now go and do position because you have been hearing that LinkedIn is better. LinkedIn is better. You jump to the end. You go and start positioning, go and start showing yourself on LinkedIn. But you are showing rubbish. I always say, people, it is better you even leave your LinkedIn. Don't do anything. Eh? Don't do anything than go and make a first bad impression. If there is any platform I don't joke with my LinkedIn. You know, people send me friend requests every day. I don't accept connection requests on LinkedIn. A lot of how why I don't do it, I explain it on my GOP program. People say, oh, you are teaching about your LinkedIn, but your connections are so limited. I said, you think I'm here to gather people. There is a difference between crowd. In my language, they will say in Yoruba, they will say, meaning that net worth of people is different from crowd. I am not looking for crowd. I'm looking for quality connections. Do not pack crowd on LinkedIn. You can use your Facebook and your Instagram and all those other platforms to pack crowd. It doesn't have consequences. If you do it on LinkedIn, it has severe consequences. So when people say, I say, you're going to be doing follow for follow, you're going to be doing all those. I share my post, you share your post. Don't try it on LinkedIn. You are confusing your algorithm. It will not show you industry relevant things because you are sharing things everywhere and nobody is understanding. Like there's a lot around why I share, don't do this, don't do that. This is what you should do. And if you are here, you've not watched my free, there's a free video I even have for starters. Moina, are you here? Is Moina here? You can watch our free video for starters on LinkedIn. Things like I'll be admitting LinkedIn as an experienced professional. Just give me a minute, I think, or founder. Please take notes that let me find that link. I'm not sure Mona is here. Applies experience, this 3 categories of experience people. What I teach on what I call let me mute. There's a experience people. See? Okay, great. So I'm trying to, I don't think Moina is here. I wanted to get the free version of the like 5 mistakes you are making on LinkedIn. Let me find the link somewhere. I have the link to that thing somewhere. So let me see if I can get it for you quickly. So now I have finished teaching you a roadmap. The roadmap is what? Build a profile. But before building the profile, get clarity first. After building the profile, platform, right? After building a profile is what? Platform. Then after platform, you have optimized the platform based on the fact that all the content you took is actually search engine optimized. And you put it there. You updated your skill, the right skills and the right number of skills. You do all those things, then you say you've optimized your platform. So after you do all that, you now go and what? You now go and what? Position. That is the roadmap. So I'm now going to take questions. I'm going to take questions. I promised you I was going to teach you roadmap. So actually using the experience you already have to attract opportunities. So I'm going to take a few questions today. Thank you, Amara, for sharing the link. And I'm dropping the message again. Thank you for sharing the link, Amara. So I'm going to take questions from the comment section. I think I've answered. Is this course different? Okay, I've answered that one. At what point can I register for PPP framework? I have just started my GCP Pro June. and I'm training to transition from career to remote work. Please, kindly Abide me, do you have experience? How many years of experience? Like I said, I don't know when you joined this thing. I say, whenever you drop me questions, give me background. So you saying you want to transition means you're a beginner. So I cannot, like, the information you gave me now says you're a beginner. Do you understand what I'm saying? That is information. So now if you had said, oh, I previously worked as this thing for this number of years, my goal is to position myself as this person in my experience or former experience area. I need to have context. So 3 things you need to give me when you're asking me such a question is what you do. Like, I currently work as a banker. How many years of experience? I have 15 years of experience. What is my goal for experience? I want to create a LinkedIn profile as a banker, as an accountant, because I'm hoping to attract consulting gigs, because I'm hoping to attract a new role. Remember, maybe I didn't even mention this. My Global Opportunities Program, I don't call it a job, it's not for job searching. It is a global opportunities program. What are global opportunities? Things like you getting appointed on a board role, getting invited as a volunteer. Like, if you go to the page, uh, let me see if I can share my screen. So the page for LinkedIn, this particular program, you will see Abel in Cameroon. He got selected as a volunteer for the Edo Paris Summit in January. He was a delegate in March. Last week, this same Abel is a Cameroonian person, sent me something, and he was appointed for this as a delegate for this thing. Is it Italy or something? Moina, I can't remember. Moina, please, if you can find that image, drop it in the comment section. Can imagine. I can't even remember what, but it's another international. It's a delegate for something. Okay, it was about a delegate from his country for something. Is it Italy or something? Moina, please find that thing. It was during Salah. He sent it on Salah Day. So he thought I was going to miss it. So he had to send it to our personal number after he sent it because it was in GOP5. Abel was in GOP5. That was December of 2023. So between December and now, he has gotten 2 international non-conventional, which is I always say, I'm not a LinkedIn coach, I'm a global opportunities expert. Because think about all the global opportunities that people don't teach about. I teach you how to position for them. So because why? There are some people that come on my program, they're not looking for jobs. They are not looking for, there are some of them that they are experienced, like Professor Fumi. Professor Fumi came in July. She's an academic. She's a professor. Do you understand what I'm saying? She's a professor. So she was just looking to build a personal brand in such a way that she could attract all these international conferences, which she did. Between July and November, when she came on my Instagram live to talk about, she had gotten 4 things. I remember the first thing she sent to me was, Doctor, thank you. I got my first international exposure. She was selected as a speaker for this UNDP thing. And she was one of the 2 Africans and the only female person on that delegate. That was one. So my surprise, she used the system I taught her in GOP for building the profile to apply for a fellowship, a UNESCO fellowship. She got it. She got this interview from UK. Like, they reached out to her today. She had the interview the following day to be like an adjunct lecturer for this thing. She now told me something which warmed my heart. She said, Doc, that thing was really juicy. Said, but I had just finished my sabbatical leave. I didn't have the bandwidth to take up that temporary distance. So I declined and told them that in the future, maybe towards the end of the year, I'll come back, if the position was still open. So it meant she got that international day. She interviewed for it, but she declined. Then something else, I've forgotten the 4th thing. Moina can find it for it to be somewhere. It's not even on our sales page. I'm not sure but it's on my Instagram page. I'll find it somewhere. I'll probably send it to you if you want it. I interviewed her on my Instagram live where she was talking about this thing. So yeah, those are the kind of thing. I always tell people that job is one of the 11 global opportunities I try to teach them about that program. So I always say, when you are looking for the things that like are not really regular, or they want them to sell, like you want a client, like all this international consulting and things like that, you want them to select you for a speaking engagements, and like those are the kind of things I teach, because I'm not sure a lot of people, did I even say a lot? I'm not sure I come across. So LinkedIn for me, my framework is a 5-step framework: brand clarity, the profile building, platform optimization, positioning. Then in the workshops are live, where I teach you brand positioning, profile building, platform optimization, and positioning. They are recorded lessons. They are on 2 different courses, right? They are on 2 different courses, and those 2 different courses cover the first 4 parts. So those 2 different courses that cover the first 4 parts. Well, now the next thing is, I now realize that before on this program, I didn't used to offer support. Like there was no support. It was a self-study, but people pay for it and go. I had to combine it into a program. Like I had to now turn it into a program because there was someone I had taught how to do this thing. She had tried the opportunity. She interviewed for it. Then she blew it. She had gotten offered $70,000 on that particular role. And she blew it. Something very silly that I would rather not talk about. But I want to tell you, like, it pained me for her because if she had probably had access to ask me within that time frame, she would have blown it. I would have probably put her, do this, don't do this, don't say this, don't say that at that particular last stage of the interview. So I feel like, so which is why I had to add. So when people ask me when is the GOP, I said, no, GOP has started. Whenever you purchase the course, they give you access to the learning. You start to learn. So when it now like 3 times in a year for everybody, I think Hope. How many of you know Hope? I was talking about Hope in today's newsletter, right? Hope purchased in March to join July batch. So she was self-studying and she already got those 2 reach outs. So if you read Hope's testimonial, you notice that she said, oh, I paid for SMW courses. Somebody reached out to me via LinkedIn. The moment I still reached out, I knew that she had taken her courses on GOP. So when I first got that, I'm like, it doesn't make sense. And when I saw that somebody reached out to me, I just knew. So I went to check her history and I knew that she had taken GOP. She now said yes, that she had bought GOP and everything. So she was already implementing. We have not started support. Support is July. You understand? So that is how that works. So please, please, please give me a bit of context, Kendi Abidemi, to work with so that I can answer your questions with a bit more clarity around that. Give me context. Is it possible for me to join GOP July? You can join, but you need to apply. Moina, please, can you put the application link? Can you put the application link in the comment section? You need to apply. I need to review if you can, like I said, it's an application-based program. And I only take limited number of people per time. So at what point can I register for this program? So again, I'm waiting for your answer, Abidemi. Is it possible for you? Adetola Adedeji, it is possible. But again, you need to apply. We now will drop you the application link. No, Mama, I know a beginner. I currently work as a ticketing supervisor with an airline. I'm presently a travel consultant at A+ Travel. I've been working for like 15 years in the aviation. Then good. So, Kendi Abidemi, would you still be wanting to build your LinkedIn profile as someone who is in the aviation sector? I know sometime this year, I worked with someone who is a top person at FAN. There's one woman, she's a top person at FAN. So we built her profile to reflect that she's that expert in the aviation industry. She did a one-on-one with me, this woman at FAN. So Moina has dropped the GOP application link. If you are here, you are interested in the program, please apply. And if you can apply, because I review just once a week. And for this entire week, I'm going to review the application tomorrow. So if you want to apply, make sure you apply before 10 a.m. tomorrow so I can review your application. Why is that? See, it's not like when you apply in that later time, I will still review your application, but if you know for sure that you're going to be accepted into the program, my advice would be for you to, even if it is half of the payment you have paid, Aisha will give you access to the very first course, which is the most intense part of it, where you have to understand who you are, then build a profile for who you are. Then you can now balance on before July 17th to pay for the optimization, which is something that is easier, way easier in 2-3 hours. You are done with the if you listen to the first course is 5.5 hours. The second course, which is the optimization and positioning, the first course is brand clarity and profile building. The second course is LinkedIn optimization and positioning. That one, once you listen to the 5.5, it is easier to do than profile building. Me, I cannot even lie. I said that one, the first part, people get stuck. Like, doc, I don't understand. I don't understand. I say, oh, you cannot build a profile for whom you don't understand. So you can go and check out more around the program on this link I dropped in the comment section. The link to apply is also there. Again, this program, by the way, used to be 500,000 naira. You see this person here, you can go and read her story. This person here, she's my sister, Zainab. So initially, I just used to work with people one-on-one for GOP framework, that is a PPP framework, one-on-one. Then in 2022, 2021, she started begging me. Yeah, she had just about 2 years of experience there. She said, please, all of us that we cannot afford to pay you one-on-one, then can you just create the course format? We will self-study, then put us into a group. She was the one that made me start this group format of GOP. Like, I now call it GOP. She was the one that made me start a group format. Because she said, let me that have small money, just pay you. But put all of us in the group coaching for support and everything like that. She was the first person that paid me for GOP. She paid me January 31, 2022. She was the first person, January 30. She was the very first payment that paid me for this program was my sister. And that was, I said January 30. So if you go to the page and you read this particular thing, right, you will just laugh. For you to know, you can see that I saved her number as baby sis. Like, that's what you can see she was saying, Auntie Demio, I'm proud of this time. She had paid for CV optimize, CV. She had all those CV things that people always do. I don't know, I've never done it. All those CV things with an app. She had done that 1 year plus, nothing. She had put open to work. You know that LinkedIn thing, open to work, 1 year plus, nothing was happening. And I said, you know, all this open to work, we really think it doesn't work for an African. Just this is what you should do. So she paid January 30. I think we had that time we did it live. So if you pay for GOP, you understand what I'm saying. I recorded the course as a live workshop. Like, why? It meant that I had, I think, over 50 people in that live workshop. They could ask me rich questions. It's one thing to teach people. It's one thing to know, to be able to figure out, after I teach, what are the questions in their head? So I intentionally recorded that course as a live workshop. So if you watch, you see that it is a live workshop where people asked me questions. So the original teaching was about, I think, let me say 3.5 hours. The remaining was about questions. They will ask me, I will say, oh, do this. They will ask me. So it meant that the course is it had the perspective of various people that were in the room. Because if they did not ask me, I wouldn't have known that it was a challenge for them. And this was what she now said. She now said, you can see the way, you would tell that this is very, she's it was not one of those edited things. Like, that's how someone reached out to me for a job on LinkedIn yesterday. I said, you know, Yoruba means, how do I translate this? Like me, that's what it means. Even if it does not pull through, it's just giving me some form of validation. That was on the 23rd of May 2022. Here you can see. Then 25th, she said, Auntie Jerry, oh, the lady called me today. Imagine me. She's asking me for my time of schedule for virtual meeting. Like, I was just laughing because she was just used to the local employer thing where people just say, yeah, show up for interview and they show up. I think the global state, people ask you what time is good for you for an interview. They treat you like a human being, right? So you could just go and read up all this. I have beautiful stories of people at the academy, right? Beautiful stories. Augusta right now is not even in the country. As at the time I worked with her, she was still in the country. Augusta had 163 connections on LinkedIn. I think we optimized her profile on a Friday. By the following Friday, when we were having a meeting, she had gotten that reach out. Like, she was like, Darren, people I used to look up to in my industry, like, they are big. Me, they are reaching out to me to say, do you want to get Eddie Sosa? Like she had worked with some BG proud to this time and all that stuff. So, like, I think one of the most beautiful part about GOP for me is the network. Like, I always tell people that sometimes when I'm really tired, I don't want to like do one-on-one or GP again or something like that. I said, what I remember is the fact that I get legit, like I get the caliber. Maybe because I review people, they understand like the caliber, the kind of network of people that come into the program. I really love. I think for all how many people have attended my LinkedIn events, my LinkedIn clarity sessions here for SFW that we hold on LinkedIn, that live event? How many people are here who have attended it? How many people have attended my LinkedIn career clarity series before? If you've attended it, I think almost all our speakers that come on that session have gone through my GOP. Almost all of them. So why did I have to mention? So you understand what I'm saying? From Latifa to I'm even forgetting their name right now. Victoria to Mr. Femi to like I've lost count. They are from my GOP, like they are alumni of my GOP program. So it's such a sweet. I enjoy the network. Andrew, yes. So like I've lost count of all of them. So if you have questions, please ask. If you want to fill the form, please fill the form. Once we reach a number of people that we want in this cohort, we stop assessing form and we close shop. SLW is for everybody. GOP is not for everybody. Okay. But I enjoyed myself teaching tonight. If you have questions, please ask now. If not, I'm going to retire and go and have a great weekend with my family. I don't see any questions. Or they're just saying, oh, wow, like what? So there's something like this. Yeah, there is. So if you look at my screen, you can see the first course here, the second course here. Then you get this ebook, this supports. These ones are just like bonuses of the program, yeah. And 6 weeks of live support, 7 to 9 p.m. every Friday for 6 weeks starting July 19th. You are wondering why we took 7 to 9. Again, experienced people on the program, they need to close from work for them to join the live sessions. Moina, you did not correct the time on this page. This thing is not 5 days. It's closing July 17th. So Moina, please take notes, correct that thing. And if you're asking what to be covered in the curriculum, please just go through. This page is an informational page. You can go through, you'll see different people. You just go read up. Yeah. This professor for me that I was talking about. So you can go read up, you see different people there. I worked with all this. I worked with my website chief, like even like thought leaders and things like that. Like it's a program I'm really proud of because of the network of the people I've built across that program. I'm a trained accountant. I'm a trained and the LinkedIn clarity session. LinkedIn clarity session, okay. There's no LinkedIn clarity session. No. This is the clarity session that is doing right now. The name of this program that I'm talking about is the GOP. And if you say you're interested in SFW is the academy. So we are probably interested in WFS, that's Workplace Foundational Skills Program at the SFW Academy. And if it's a link declaration, there's nothing like this is a clarity session on board. So it's probably you're interested in the Global Opportunities Program. So please clarify. And if you are, please fill the form. Again, for a professional who wants to probably use our experience to work remotely, these are the two programs I recommend, GOP and the WFS. That's a Workplace Foundational Skills. Why? When you attract an opportunity, you must have skill to deliver it. You must have a remote worker skill to deliver it. Do you understand? You must have the skill to even show up well at the interview, which is what I cover on the WFS and some other things. Do you understand? In fact, you must have the skill to even be confident enough to apply for it. So, which I teach on the GOP, like all those applications and things like that. Yeah, aside the LinkedIn. So again, please go through this page to look at what we cover on the GOP. Because people ask me, I say, no, it is not SFW. SFW is an upskilling program, like you acquire skills. GOP is an attraction, is a framework that teaches you how to attract the opportunities. They are two different things. So if you want, like, oh, I want to be able to get an international kind of remote opportunity, not just job, I need the skills for it, and I need the mechanism to attract it. Then you need to both GOP and WFS. For someone like you may not need the remaining part of WFS and SFW. You may not need the technical skill, you may not need the internship, because why? You are experienced. You have experience. So what you need is the Workplace Foundational Skills for remote workers and GOP to attract. But if someone has said now that I don't have experience and all that, I would say now you need to complete WFS. I mean, to complete SFW program. Do you understand me? So that's how this works. So SFW is an academy under iTrain Africa. You see, this GOP is not even like it's under Adering Solar Adepoju as a brand. Do you understand me? So you will not see me talk about GOP in iTrain Africa or Skill for Work page. But when you come to my Instagram page, Adering Solar Adepoju, you can learn from them. That's what I put there. And you don't see me talking about SFW on that page at all. So if you're asking how does it work, the calendar, please, everything is on this informational page. Just take your time, 3 minutes, read through it. You can even determine if it is for you or not. Who is this for? I put it there. Who is this not for? It is not MMM. It is not a money turnover. It is not for those who don't want to work, who don't want to invest time in themselves. It is like, I always say it. This one is not SFW, like be begging, like this one is not, it's an advanced program. It's an advanced program that you are ready to invest time and money in that thing. Don't bother. Bajen Dafa says, I'm a registered nurse for 12 years and I really need the GOP, but I do not have the finance to join for now. And I'll wait for them. Please, sure. I think we have a November batch. Yeah, we have a November batch that is coming up. So if you do not have the finances to meet up with the July batch, please. There's a future batch. It's not what I always tell people is when they tell me about GOP, like, oh, will there be this? I always say, please note. Even in SFW, I say it to them. When somebody tells me, oh, I want to join WFS in the future, but I said, note, just know that for as long as you postpone your learning, so do you postpone results. Like, everyone must understand that. You cannot say, oh, I want to get this thing at this time. So what I always tell people for you by the beginning of the year is I always say, okay, if you intend to be able to get the global opportunities in 2023, do you understand? Then this is the batch for you. If you are looking at getting the opportunities, global opportunities towards maybe beginning of 2024, November batch is for you. So it's just you really asking, when am I ready to get this result? That is what I always tell people. so that people put it into perspective when they say, oh, I will join. I say, please put it into perspective, because for someone like me, at the beginning of the year, I've planned my the kind of things I want to achieve for that year. Like this year, one of the things I wanted to achieve was to get partners to reach out to us for 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 SFW. Like I was building it. I'm building SFW. So I need international partnerships to support me on it. So if you check all the things I've been putting out on LinkedIn, is to ensure that I'm attracting those kind of, and I've gotten 5 of them. One of them from IFC reached out to me this year. IFC is International Finance Corporation, the member of the World Bank Group. Another person from World Bank Group reached out to me. Another person from the Netherlands who educate, like an education agency, reached out to me. One person from India reached out to me. And oh shit. How was the last person from? The person I'll have to check my inbox on LinkedIn. I tell people that I don't think a month passes on LinkedIn that I don't get this kind of reach out. I did not say I reached out. Like people coming to me for, oh, let's see what we can do together. There are some of them that, of course, when we have that Zoom discussion, we have that meeting, I realize that what we want to probably work on together is something that I need to delay to a later time, but at least that contact has been made. And we've talked about our points of alignment, which is one of the things I teach on GOP, like when people reach, which is what I call maximizing. When they reach out to you, what do you say? What do you not say? How quick do you set up a meeting? Before you go and blow opportunity that you worked to get, right? So in the absence of questions, thank you very much, everybody. I really had a great time today. But Jane Downfall, where are you from? Your name is kind of unique. Hopefully, I review some applications tomorrow. So Gambia, yeah, from the Gambia. Okay, great. Thank you so much. And you can unmute yourself, everyone. If you want to say a good night, everyone can unmute themselves, say their good night, and have a great weekend.
Good night.